and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about, well, actually, I'll be doing a special request for someone that asked me to do Lilith in the 7th house, part 2, how to use your Lilith energy. Before I get into how to use this energy, I'm going to talk about Libra and its Venus influence really quick. So with Libra, ruled by the planet Venus, also Taurus, but we're talking about Libra right now. Venus's influence on Libra, it has a great impact on your day-to-day lives because Venus rules abundance, attraction, love, prosperity, gifts, material gains, like everything that is good and beautiful, sophisticated, elegant, just of a higher, the finer things in life, Venus rules, and it's in great benefit when it's in Libra. So with that energy being present, this is why you have a certain allure about you. Notice it, but you have a certain allure about you because that is your blessing in its life. Venus also rules our pleasures, tastes, inclinations, and all things that make us happy in this life. So with your Lilith being in Libra, influenced by Venus, all of those pleasures, tastes, inclinations, and things that make you happy have been shamed, have been repressed, have been put in a box somewhere in your subconscious or your psyche, and hasn't been given life in a long time, most likely. Is the case, which is why when people come to you with a certain energy, you automatically just give a negative reaction to it because you've already killed that. Well, not killed it, but you definitely suppressed that part of you in a way that there's no room to feed that wolf. So how do you use this energy? So people may see you as overly sexual, a temptress, sensual person. And all of those things are true because all of those energies are ruled by your creative energy. It's ruled by your sacral chakra. It's where all of those things live, breathe, and birth life, like literally. So this energy is unbalanced. You tend to go from one extreme to the next. So you go from like super happy to like super sad or super mad or whatever emotion. It completely consumes your being at the time, and it's hard to like see the other side. Even if you see the other side, you're like, fuck the other side, you know, like it's just not good. So for example, I have displacement, so I definitely deal with disassociation. I deal with like having very twisted, dark fantasies, and you can take that however you will, but usually when that happens, I go through a phase where it's like I try to push it out, which ends up in me disassociating and then not making a thought come back stronger, basically. Like it comes back stronger because I didn't actually deal with it. I didn't speak to it. I didn't give it any grace. I just tried to pretend it wasn't there. And that's something that we can't do because we're meant to understand. This is why we attract people that have dark nature or like are older or self-sabotaging or just are prone to infidelity. So we know this, we understand this, we probably thought about it during relationships, but do we act on it? No, because we're actually good people despite what others may think. It's just that our delivery may be like a Libra. Like most Libra sons that I know are very honest, but they say it with such grace. And sometimes even when they don't say it with grace, you felt that shit, so you had to respect it. You know, it's kind of like the same energy that we need to carry. Like, this is where I stand. You know, you either like it or you don't, but that's not going to change who I am as a person, and it's not going to change my disposition. This is like how we put that energy forward and show our humanity and to do that to my thoughts. But now I kind of just let them go. I let them be free. Like if I have a crazy thought, like I'll probably either try to write a story based on the premise of the thought because it was so wild. I'm like, let me see what can happen. Just to make it fun, use that creative nature, or I'll just let it be a daydream and see how far the daydream goes, and then like think it for its time, think it for what it's done, even though it's not something you actually want to happen in real life, you know? Kind of like that. That's one of the ways that you can use this energy, as well as with any art form or medium that you have. Whenever you have this that you're trying to process, or just feelings you're trying to process that you feel shame towards, that have been repressed, that like even dressing sexy, like as a woman, you've probably been sexually harassed your whole life, and even when you try to wear baggy clothes, it didn't work. So it's like embracing that sexy nature, but then having your assurity, putting your foot down, having boundaries, not just being like naive, because you're aware, like you're very well aware of what you possess and how people react to it. So you have to be aware of how you draw the line at, you know, you have to be in control of that, which will allow you to get further in life, because you can set demands, you can set terms, you can put yourself in higher positions based off of what you know that you possess. You know, the cards that you're dealt in this life. If you have this placement, you're probably perceived as a hypersexual person, but in reality, you're like the kind of person that just wants that one partner that you can do everything with and not feel judged or shamed or whatever the case may be, but you want it to be like your person. Like, we definitely want our independence, but we want that one person that's like deeply committed and isn't fucked up, because we know how fucked up people are, but it's like at least their fucked up shit is not that bad. Like, it's something I can forgive. They don't betray our trust, like, because once the trust is gone, everything is gone, you know? And most of us with displacement are still searching for that person that we can love and trust and have that level of vulnerability with. But I also feel like we don't always get it because we aren't allowing ourselves to be that vulnerable, because we're still shaming certain parts of ourselves. So that's also to be considered, because we literally attract what the mirror of our subconscious mind. So if our subconscious mind is like tearing us down and speaking negatively about who we are, that's, you're going to attract the mirror of the equivalent of what you believe you deserve. So with all of this being said, how do you channel this for yourself? How do you properly activate it? So you have to ask yourself a question. Ask yourself two questions. The first question is, what do I want? And not like the superficial, what do I want? Like, what do you really want? What is that fantasy life in your head that no one knows about, that you dream and want? Like, what is that? What does that actually look like? What does that feel like? In other words, what is your deepest desire? So, let me see. I'll be a little vulnerable here. I'll tell you one of my deepest desires, right? God, I can't say this. So one of my deepest desires is to be a sex therapist. That's one of my deepest desires, is to be a sex therapist in this life. But I don't want to go, I mean, I'm willing to go the traditional formal educational route, but with the way society is moving and is set up, I can see it coming to fruition in a different avenue, through a different means. So things like that, like, what is your deepest desire? Find this desire. When you find this fire within you that just makes you feel alive. It's fun, it's exciting, it breathes new life into you and to others, in its own way, you know? Like, so for example, like when you reach this point, you want to be as authentic and raw as possible, because that's, you don't want to freeze it. You don't want it to not move, because when something is frozen, it's stuck in time, so it doesn't grow, right? So it's like you want to keep growing and evolving and shining. For example, like I want to be a sex therapist. I didn't notice originally about myself. I knew it through my actions, because in 2017 I started a blog called the Dick Sand Diaries, where I talked about sex and relationships and the stereotypes and archetypes of like bad men that I've encountered and many of my friends have encountered, and also just human desire and how it works and how it's beneficial and how we can better manage it, right? But I didn't keep up with my blog, even though I have a bunch of stuff in my drafts. Like I have 3 different articles in my drafts right now that I never published out of fear, because I started to get shamed, I started to get yelled at, I started to get all of the things that Lilith hates. Lilith hates that feeling of feeling small, feeling shame, feeling like her presence isn't worthy. So, and I wasn't at the state that I am now with my Lilith nature, so I immediately like cowered down and went into recluse mode and went into my shell and didn't allow myself to be and let myself shine as she is. Told the ugly truths, okay? I told the ugly truths about dating, sex, relationships, and if you have displacement, fellow 7-houser, I'm here to tell you that we have the golden key to the depths of the dark part of the psyche, or trauma lives, where pain lives, where narcissists and psychopaths and all of those people live. We have the key to that because we understand both sides. We understand how wonderful and beautiful life can be, and we understand the dark as above, so below. Like, and if you haven't reached that level of understanding, it doesn't mean that you don't, because it's in you. It is innate in you. It exists. Like at any point, you're gonna unlock it. At some point in your life, you're gonna unlock it, and when you do, you're gonna realize why everything in life happened to you the way it happened to you, because you were most likely put through those circumstances to heal or help teach, well, at least in my case, I'm speaking for myself at this point, to heal and guide and help other people avoid those type of situations. So yeah, when it comes to helping people with boundaries, self-esteem, self-assertance, and honest feedback, which is also mirroring. Oh my God, you are a mirror. We're all mirrors of each other, but like the part of us that mirrors is not the pretty parts, and that's why we get the ugly parts of people, and we also get the beautiful parts of people. But I'm pretty sure in your relationships you've seen darker aspects of your partner than their previous partners have. You know, like it's just slippery slope. You can use Lilith's charm to get you anything you want in this life, anything you need in this life. You are blessed with Venus's beauty, love, appreciation, diplomacy, grace, and candor in this life. So that will get you into doors that other people may not be able to get themselves into. That may put you in positions and places, that may put you into randomly getting free tickets to some kind of concert because the person just like your vibe. Like you're gonna be just blessed in a lot of ways in this life. So to use it, this blessing in your life is because of like your grace with connection. Like you're blessed with connection because of the Libra energy, the harmonious nature. Like you can love almost everyone and see almost everyone truly as they are and accept them. And the downside to that is that, or the faulty side to that is that you can see all of the parts. You can see all of the parts, and sometimes you don't want to fuck with it, you know? Sometimes you just don't want to deal with that, and that's okay. That's acceptable. Don't deal with it, but people are going to be who they are. Like, I'm a firm believer that, and I have a daughter, so like I'm a firm believer that people are always who they are, you know, like grow more into that. They just grow more into it, and they get more tools, more vocabulary, more skills, more everything. They just improve upon who they are. So sometimes some things are just completely unacceptable, and you have to know when it's time to walk away, and that's for your benefit, because that's just who they're going to be. All they can do is improve. The connection can also be faulty if your mind isn't healed. So if you lead with distrust in connections or relationships, it's going to sour. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be beneficial. It's not going to give you all of the love and excitement and pleasure that you crave, because you've seen too much. So the distrust puts you in a position where it's not allowing you to see the good side of the person. And it'll be 100% your fault that the relationship soured or went bad, because it's literally a reflection of your mind. Our subconscious minds attract qualities in people, right? So it's like everybody sees everyone differently, because we all perceive everyone differently. So like, say you have a friend that sees one person as super funny and charming and charismatic, and then the other friend sees her as bitchy and snotty and, you know, sedity, whatever. That's because in the subconscious mind of person A, that's how they perceive them. That's how they program them. They program to see them. And then another person, they're programmed to see them another way. So it's like you're literally creating your reality of people around you based on how you perceive people around you. So if you want to improve this quality about you, or the quality of people that you attract, you can start to improve the quality of your subconscious mind. Okay, so I'm going to give you some alternative advice. If you really want to maintain like your balance, right? Because we spiral and go to different extremes. I think it's important for you to embrace your vice, whatever that may be. Your vice may be weed, your vice may be coffee, your vice may be tea, your vice may be eating sushi every Thursday. Whatever your vice is, I don't judge. I mean, unless it's children or animals doing something sexually perverted to them, I judge. I'm judging you. Find your vice. Keep it close. Keep it handy. Keep it in your back pocket as in a contingency plan. If anytime like your mind, body, spirit, or being feels unhinged, on nerves, because yes, we have all of these feelings and we embrace them and we love them and we let them go, but sometimes feelings linger and stagnate in our body. And when that's the case, like finding that thing that brings that euphoria and happiness to you will put you back in alignment with the vibration that you're trying to attract. Don't deny yourself of it. Don't shame yourself into having to be normal. Like, everyone has a vice. Like, there is no normal. Like, it's just what you desire. What do you deeply desire? What do you see your life as? It can happen. It is happening already. Because whatever, all of the negative things that you've been manifesting have already happened. So why not try to manifest something more pleasurable, aimed towards what you truly, truly want in this life that no one else will ever know about, like ever. Well, until they see it. Until they see it, or until you show up and share with them, you know? So yeah, my fellow Lilith in the 7th house or Lilith in Libra placements, you're reeking with sexual, sensual, creative energy. So use it. Don't freeze it. If you freeze it, you'll kill your spark. And your spark is all you have in this life. Beyond that, your spark is what makes you so fucking desirable in this life. My advice to you is to vice responsibly and show the world what they've been missing. But more importantly, show yourself what you've been denying it. For watching, if you made it to the end, I appreciate you so much. Yeah, I was really nervous in the making of this video because I had to dig into like a lot of parts of myself that, like, I was very nervous. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself and show up for yourself. Until next time.